Well, welcome to a look at another Missouri Valley Conference game of the week as we have the Drake Bulldogs hosting the Belmont Bruins. And joining us, Drake head coach Allison Pullman and Belmont head coach Bart Brooks. And Bart, I'll start with you. A week or so ago, you collected your 100th conference win at Belmont. Congratulations to you on that. A fun matchup here in this trip for your Bruins to Des Moines. Both teams 5-0 in the Valley standings. Both are 12-4 and did some work in the non-conference as well, both with Power 5 conference wins. Your Bruins had two of them. How much did your non-conference schedule prepare you for what you knew you were getting into in the Missouri Valley Conference?
Well, thanks, Brad. I'm not sure how much fun the matchup is for us. I don't know if I've enjoyed this prep so far. They're really good, and Coach Allison does a great job with her team. And man, I just don't know if they ever miss. They always, every time they run a possession, they make every shot, and they're like really good. So this is not fun for me, but obviously excited about the opportunity. The non-conference, I think every year we try to put ourselves in some uncomfortable situations where we're going to play against teams that are maybe bigger than us, quicker than us, that they do things differently than we do things. So we see different styles. But uniquely, I'm not sure that we saw a team that has Drake's style. Drake is a very unique style, and they're a team that's really challenging to prepare for. But I think we've played against some really good players and really good coaches that has given us confidence that we feel like we can compete with anyone. But again, great test for us on Friday.
It's a rematch from the title game from a year ago, and some new faces though on both sides of the court. So, talk a little bit about that matchup a year ago, and then how you see this game unfolding here on Friday.
Yeah, well, just to kind of echo what Coach Brooks talked a little bit about, uniquely enough, the Missouri Valley every single night, it's a game and it's a grind. And I think what I've heard so often, whether it's on the recruiting trail and in people talking about the Missouri Valley, in how difficult and how tough of a conference and how strong our league really is. And we have, heavy hitters like the Belmonts and the Murray States and like the Illinois States and the UNIs, and we have so many teams that are just fantastic, and that's not to mention that there's 6 more that I haven't even mentioned there. So as far as last year, like just we had a phenomenal run down the stretch, and and back to really getting ready for this game and talking about the changing really of each of these teams. We are both really, really different teams, and I think Coach Brooks and what they've done in their body of work up to this stage is nothing but impressive. And so I know as he talks about how challenging of a maybe opportunity this is for their team, I think that we're the exact same boat as far as, you can't take anything for granted. You still, whether we're home or whether we're on the road, you've got to be ready day in and day out in the Missouri Valley.
I want to ask about a player from each team. I always love asking coaches about the opponent that they're looking at. So I want to ask you about a newcomer to the Missouri Valley Conference and freshman Jalen Banks, a 4-time freshman of the week, some late game heroics in Belmont's win over Indiana State. What are you seeing out of this freshman as you're preparing your Drake team to face Belmont?
What was really impressive was listening to some of the announcers talk in that game just about how, how she's really stepped onto this stage. I wouldn't say freshman, in all honesty. I mean, she plays like she's very, like she's a veteran player. I think she has wonderful command of the ball. I think on both ends, she adds, just different aspects, I think, to the game. And I think she makes their team really, really difficult to guard. And when they need a play to be made, she's definitely, she might not be the one taking the shot, but she's definitely a big part of it. And so I'm excited. And I think, I think a lot of teams, hopefully they say this about our conference, but I think it's impressive when we have phenomenal, phenomenal players in our league, and she's definitely one of them.
Let's keep it along those same lines. So Bart, you're gonna have to defend Katie Dennebeer, and seen her now for over a year. And so what are your thoughts on her and how you have to defend her?
I'm so sick of watching her on film. I mean, I don't have a really good answer for how we're going to defend her. You know, we're going to try to have someone in front of her at some point in the game, hopefully. But she's really good. I think when you're thinking about a point guard, I think she checks all the boxes. She's incredibly selfless. She plays with great pace. She's got a great motor. She's unbelievably competitive. She's tough. She's physical. She scores at the rim. She makes threes. She makes everyone on the floor better. She defends as well as she plays offense. And you know, every time they're in a big game, she makes the play. And she's you know, I wish we could clone her and borrow her for the rest of the year, but she's really good. So I don't know how, you know, a lot of people have tried different things to slow her down. I think she's just one of those players that, you know, you hope she misses a shot or two and you give yourself a chance to win at the end.
Well, Bart, you're coming off a weekend. You took your team to a facility you're very familiar with, played at Evansville in the Ford Center. It was Education Day there, a loud environment. But you've got some history at the Ford Center, 4 OVC tournament titles over the last 5 or 6 years. Does it seem like every trip or every team in the Valley kind of prepares your team for something you're going to face down the road, no matter what it might be?
Yeah, no doubt. I think, you know, just back to the education game, just thinking through the timeouts early in that game, you know, they do a great job of rallying and rowdying up the children behind our bench right in the middle of the timeouts. So basically, I was useless for the first half of the game because no one heard a word I said. But it's awesome to have people sitting in the stands watching our teams compete and seeing those little kids and their excitement for, you know, they weren't cheering for the Bruins, but they were there watching basketball, and that was really, really cool. And I think the more that we can put our players in environments where we're playing in front of people, it's really fun to play when people are watching and people are excited to be there. So that was a great environment, and obviously the Ford Center, you know, had some good memories there. But it's weird, when I walked in, I remember the miserable memories we had there, probably more than the good ones. So I got to figure that out, but. Yeah, it was great to be back in the Ford Center for sure.
Big weekend with the 2 teams coming to Des Moines and Northern Iowa and Belmont and Murray States. Would you both look at this as maybe it's a turning point in the conference race? Is this kind of where we start seeing some separation in the conference?
You know, I mean, possibly. I think we're the middle of January, and I think, you know, as far as you know, this is definitely a marathon, and so continuing to, you know, not really get ahead of ourselves and do simulated season as far as things go. I think you know, you kind of got to take them as they come, and I know we're just overall excited to, you know, to welcome Belmont back here. It's a great opportunity for our fans to see, you know, 2 unbelievable programs match up here in the Knapp Center. And I ultimately hope, back to, you know, what Coach Brooks mentioned, I just really hope that, you know, we're able to put people in the stands, you know, for our teams to be able to compete in front, because I think, you know, the best part about it is being a women's basketball fan is a really special thing. And I think you're going to see some quality, you know, players to be able to walk out. And I think, you know, you're going to leave a basketball fan.
We try our best to keep our head where our feet are and not get too far ahead of anything. And whoever wins the game on Friday, we're still going to have to turn around and play another really tough game on Sunday. And then we're going to have to turn around next week and play a really tough game on Friday. And, you know, so we're really just trying to focus on the daily, you know, getting our team a little bit better, hopefully getting them to practice through the snow. You know, hopefully everyone makes it from the dorm to the practice facility in one piece today. And really, you know, whatever happens this weekend, it's going to be a great measuring stick for where we are right now. And I think both programs and you know, Coach Allison, she did an unbelievable job of getting her team into a whole nother place. They were good in January last year, but they got to a whole nother level in March. And I think that's what all of us are aspiring to do.
Well, Bart, Allison, thanks a lot for joining Laura and I. This is going to be a fun one. I know Laura and I are really looking forward to it. Both teams, Drake and Belmont, 5-0 in the Missouri Valley Conference standings. It is a rematch of the 2023 Missouri Valley Conference Tournament Championship game, and we will have it on MVC TV at 6 p.m. So we welcome all Valley fans and all basketball fans to tune in and join us. Thanks.